Well, today, of course, here on SABC News, this coverage is going to continue all the way up until 7 o'clock this evening when the President takes to that podium to deliver the State of the Nation address at the Cape Town City Hall. And we, of course, will continue to bring you rolling coverage throughout the day. So as all the activity continues there outside the City Hall, let me take this opportunity to say my goodbye to you, because I know that there's so much more coming from Cape Town, where Sakina is based with the rest of the team. So Sakina, I know that you've got so much more planned for us as well. Perhaps maybe even a conversation with a puppet, I'm not sure, but I may have heard that being whispered around. Talk to me. Good. Have a wonderful day there. I'm going to leave it now to you to carry on.
Well, thank you, Leanne. I'm hoping that I'm picking up in the right place because it's getting louder here. There are the marimba bands on the one side, the parliamentary choir. Chester Missing is making noise somewhere. And I've got Mkhokheli Pengu here, ANC National Spokesperson. Thanks so much for stopping by. So another SONA 2026 promises were made last year. And of course, when it comes to the delivery, it's also time to take stock of that. So how would you assess how the ANC and government overall have fared when it comes to the service delivery promises that have been made to the people of South Africa?
Perhaps more like, what do we expect? And then we will give a reaction, an official reaction thereafter, Sakina. But in terms of expectation, if you go through the 2025 SONA, there are a lot of granular details that are provided about water services delivery, for example, building a resilient water management strategy for our country. There were mentions of trillions and billions of rands that will be spent in the direction of infrastructure development to ensure that we have inclusive economic growth. In respect of water, for example, Umzimvubu Water Project, Mkhokheli Water Project, Giyani Water Project, I think a total of about 6 or 7. Significant amount of state investments in boosting our infrastructure, our water infrastructure. We do expect the President to take the country into confidence in respect of what have we achieved there, what remains, and also what are the new ideas and plans to address the persistent water challenge. But we also expect, when Parliament has a debate, and when we now drill down to parliamentary portfolio committees and standing committees, that those plans will be crystallized such that they are implementable. When we then present the budget must be able to match or honor those commitments made by the President. That also includes community agency, the collective agency by our people. Can assure you, from the limited experience that we have, you cannot be putting in a water pipe procured through significant amounts. It cannot be that a month later it has burst or by itself. Transformers, it has become a norm for transformers to be stolen or to be burnt. Surely that cannot be done by the state alone.
And that's a fair point. And of course, law enforcement needs to do its job, and the state needs to ensure that it also makes sure that it stays within the budget limits, among other things, and delivers these projects on time.
No, absolutely. So, we need to understand how far have we gone with a robust monitoring and evaluation system, a performance monitoring and evaluation system within government. I can state for our part that we have revamped our PMR to ensure that what a deployee has as a scorecard with the President is what we measure them on. And, that right from local government all the way. I was just using an example earlier, I think it was with Hilal TV, about a councillor that we've just recalled and had to resign because was not doing all of those actions that are contained in the local government action plan, and replaced with a new councillor who we expect will attend to the challenges that our people are facing in that particular region. So we can produce records now of people who have recalled. And it may not be to the scale that everybody will expect, because you must still follow due process if you're an organization that has got procedures and policies. We expect every deployee of the ANC, following the delivery of the 2026 SONA address, to run with the speed, of a leopard, in ensuring that they don't have to be summoned to explain why there is no progress. In respect of water, we want to assure the people of South Africa, irrespective, of course, the president will elaborate, but to assure the people of South Africa that our teams are hard on the ground. You only have to see the fact that the executive mayor, Chester missing there now.
Yeah, Chester is disturbing a very serious conversation about water.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mkhokheli, I apologize. But the truth is, if you buy a bottle of water in Joburg, you double the Joburg water supply. What lies? Una manga. Who is the president of South Africa right now, Mkhokheli?
Cyril Ramaphosa.
No, he resigned months ago. He's on standby mode. We have a screensaver. If he's like one of those workers at Home Affairs, if you ask President Ramaphosa a question, he'll answer, the system is down.
How is it possible that if he's a placeholder, how does it happen that South Africa continues to fare excellently in the geopolitical environment, including securing important investment and trade deals? The placeholder, how does that even happen? It can only be a puppet president.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You've said it yourself. Thanks for admitting it. He's a Ramaphosa. Why do you think Johan Rupert had to go to the White House? Someone has to make Ramaphosa talk.
Referring to the puppet, somebody's a puppet and not the president of the...
The president's a puppet. Ramaphosa. It's in his name. Didn't you notice? Do you know who the main president of South Africa is, Mkhokheli?
Enlighten me. You?
Cat McLala. Burn. And his deputy president, Brown Mkhokheli.
As I understand, though, they are currently in conflict with the law, according to the investigations, and they are trying to defend whatever is there for them or about them.
Are you talking about Phala Phala right now?
I am talking about...
I thought you meant Phala Phala. Oh, I thought when you said out of line with the law, protecting themselves,
okay,
I thought you meant
give Mkhokheli a chance to answer, Chester. We all want to talk.
Sorry.
Yeah, Kolisa. Uyangixaka wena, Chester, because with the things you are talking about, accusing the president of being a puppet, all of these investigations and these exposures have less to do with lack of leadership, have everything to do with foresight and leadership. And there's no president that institutes investigations of this scale and complexity when they actually think that those are going to come in his or her favor or in the favor of the political party that they lead.
Yeah, that's true. They say you don't institute an inquiry unless you know the outcome, Chester.
Didn't President Zuma start the Zondo inquiry?
Yeah.
So there we go. Oh my goodness, you guys. Go get some burn cream. Listen, Mkhokheli, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We do have a system where we're investigating. But the fact is, President Ramaphosa still has his friend Senzo Mkhunu in there, like he's the corruption Takalani Sesame.
Arguing with you, honestly, I'll end up being off script. And now I'm not at a theater here. I'm not at a theater here. I'm here to attend the State of the Nation address, a very important day in the calendar of South Africa, Chester.
This puppet, every year he makes his way here only when I'm speaking to you.
I love Mkhokheli. She's amazing. Mkhokheli, the only thing is the president promised us a smart city in Joburg. When are we getting the smart city that he promised like 5 years ago?
I'm certain that still is the vision, but you yourself know, as much as you're a puppet, you know that there is sprawling informal settlements, some of whom are due to illegal land invasions that are even supported by political parties that are represented in parliament, which destabilizes any spatial planning effort of any government.
I tell you what, we are truly the land of the free. Even Chester, the puppet, is free. And he's here to speak to Mkhokheli Bengu, the spokesperson of the ANC.
He must just be sent to one of our countries, somewhere in Asia, and I'm thinking East Africa. He won't come back.
Will I be put in jail? Please put me in jail. I have a white guy keeping me in a suitcase, Mkhokheli. But then again, President Ramaphosa knows what that's like. I'm out.
Well, that's where we have to leave that, Chester. You know, and Chester always finds Mkhokheli. Mkhokheli, I don't know what it is between you and Chester, but I promise you, Chester will not come in unless he sees you here, and then that's him.
No, because, you know, this is the real terrorist in our country, but is a lovely terrorist. Our democracy is richer for this, honestly.
I tell you what, let's read some tweets. People responding this morning just with regard to the state of the nation and, of course, their expectations from the address tonight. This one's from Humorous, who says, good morning, Leanne. I'm not expecting anything new. Same thing every year, no change. KZN Isleka says, the irony of the SONA by Cyril Ramaphosa is a joke. Number one, why is it held in Cape Town City Hall? That's because there's a restoration project underway at Parliament. And number two, the fire in Parliament happened years ago. Restoration ongoing. Three, CR and his team are too focused on Israel and USA while we have a water crisis, infrastructure collapse, and also rampant crime in the country. It's a waste of our time. And then Sidwell says, same old promises, no progress, and so it goes. Thank you so much to everybody. And Mkhokheli Bengu, your expectation very briefly.
Yeah, we expect that the president is going to respond to some of our people's criticisms, because every view by South Africans matter. And we do analyze these sentiments when we do our own sentiment analysis on a daily basis. And we are mindful of the fact that our messaging must inspire. But more importantly, our achievements and successes must inspire. Even where we don't get to meet all the targets, because there are so many other intervening factors in statecraft and in the institutions of governance. But we must be able to demonstrate that the most things that matter to our people are being done. The delivery of basic services, the economy is the biggest focus by the ANC and for 2025 and beyond. And we expect the president to meet those expectations.
All right. And Chester's gone. I want Chester to say goodbye to Mkhokheli because he so rudely interrupted Mkhokheli. Be nice. Come and say goodbye to Mkhokheli nicely.
I want to say thank you. Thank you again, because another year the ANC has provided us with all the jokes. I owe you commission by this. Mkhokheli, you know, a whole bag of Woolworths cash.
I said be nice. Say goodbye.
No, I'm saying thank you. I'm saying thank you, Mkhokheli. You guys keep us comedians going. Without you, what would we laugh at?
So much to laugh at, such as your friend Helen Zille,
no, she's hilarious.
Sleeping next to potholes, lying down next to potholes.
All right.
Because ANC would never sleep next to a pothole. No, they just drive over them. Well done.
Okay, so that's where we're going to leave it because, hey, what a morning it's been. And, of course, counting down to 7 p.m. tonight, and that's when the president will deliver the State of the Nation address. And, of course, just looking around. Oh. We don't promote violence here on the public broadcaster. Mkhokheli Bengu, Chester missing, you know, this is where it's at. And of course, what we are going to do is continue rolling coverage here from the Cape Town City Hall. This is the parliamentary precinct. We've had Vanessa Puna out in the streets of Cape Town. Mkhokheli Bandla is somewhere else here on the parade. And of course, what we're going to do is Ayanda Nyati. He will take over from 9 and then move on forward. And this is where you can get wall-to-wall coverage from the SABC throughout the day, and of course in all 12 official languages. And we're going to leave it here now, handing it over to Ayanda Nyati and the team for the rest of the day.